In this lesson, we're going to learn how to make complex movements using Duik In the previous lessons, we learned how to use this plugin, and how we can rig characters and make them move a certain way. So for this lesson, we have a little bit of a challenging scene to animate, and that is a basketball player about to shoot the ball into the hoop. So not only are we working with the arms and the legs, but we need him to follow this structure. So we need to make him follow these structures one by one. So not only is he bending his knees, he's also jumping and he is stretching out his arm. The ball also gets detached from his hands. So it's a little bit more complex than what we had, because this is not a looping thing. We need to work frame by frame and finish the scene from start to finish. So in the beginning, he will be dribbling the ball a bunch of times, and then he's going to shoot the ball, and it will score, and the ball will have to bounce away. We will be doing something like this using what we learned so far. So go ahead and bring in the two files that is in the resource pack. One of them is the basketball composition, and the other one is the reference image. So let's first go ahead and organize our timeline. We cannot look at all these layers. It's too much to look at. Let's go ahead and group each one by changing their colors. Remember that body and hip are independent. Ball and hoop are in one layer, and background is just there. Let's lock the background in place. And also hit Ctrl Y and get something in the back so we don't have this transparent background. Put that below BG, and now it looks like this. We could also just make it this color. Okay, that's better. Let's delete this and lock this in place as well. So now that we did this, let's go ahead and work with the limbs one by one. So we're going to hide the toggle switches and modes. Let's hide all of the layers except for not the background. Hide all of the layers except for the hand, the left arm. Hit this, and we just have these guys now. So let's go ahead and be sure of their placement, and then we want to select all three. Go to the Pixel, rigging, go to structures, and we're going to get one for the arm. Go in this little circle and choose arm, forearm, and hand. Okay, and now we have this structure. We just need to put them where they belong. So the arm is over here. We want to put it up here. I'm going to solo the bicep layer so I can see exactly where it needs to go with the S arm layer. So put it in the middle. Make sure you're not too up or too down. Somewhere here. Let's de-solo that. Get the forearm and solo that with the forearm. So we can bring this guy, deselect forearm, and just bring this guy in the middle. Deselect. And then we have the hand that just goes over here. You can also solo these two together to make sure that it's on the right spot. Hold down Alt and zoom in to make sure it's there. You can see we kind of missed it there. And then we have the arm tip, which we're also going to bring in. It's right here. Get the arm tip and just put it right here. All right, let's bring these back, and now the arm is ready to move. So once we have all of these, let's parent them. So bicep L, just call this arm L so they match. Arm L. Before we do that, let's make the colors of this red so they all match. So red layers are the left arm. We're going to parent this arm to the arm layer. forearm to forearm, hand to hand, and that is all. The arm layer would be connected to the body, which we don't have right now. Let's deselect this, find the body, unhide this, and the arm is connected to the body. Now let's select all of these new S layers, go to Duikba Cell again, Auto Rig and IK. There we are, we have a icon for the hand. Let's set the arm to the body again. It usually disconnects. And now the arm is just moving like an arm would. We do need to turn off a few things, so Control Z. Make sure stretch is turned off. So when we do this, the arm doesn't stretch. You can see it holds the shape, which is just how arms work. You can't dislocate your limbs every time you're trying to stretch out. And we can leave reverse turned on because this is the correct direction. Okay. So we have that. And again, these little colors are not a part of your illustration. They're just there for the rigging part. Once you export this, you're not going to get these icons. So on the controller layer, I'm going to change the color of the icon because it's kind of hard to see. I'm going to make it a vibrant yellow. Hit OK. Let's also make the controller layer red, and we're good to go. So these guys are ready. Let's hide these away. Okay, let's bring the other sets of arms. So unshy these. We're going to work with the other arm now. Come here. Select all these layers, and we're going to go to Duikba Cell and do the same thing for this arm. Okay, and then I'm going to select all of them, make them yellow so they're in one group. I'm going to call this arm right. Put these where they belong, solo these two layers so we get to see exactly where we need to go. Bring them back, solo the forearms, get the forearm Duikba Cell layer, put it right at the joint, and then bring the hand layers and the hand tip. So all three. Get the hand layer and put it at the wrist. And then we have the arm tip, which goes at the tip of this guy's fingers. Zoom in and make sure. Okay. This guy is good. Let's bring these back. And then we can go ahead and connect the layers. So forearm goes to forearm, arm goes to arm, hand goes to hand, and the S arm, the Duikba Cell layer, goes to body. Select all of these, go to Duikba Cell, make another Auto Rig and IK. There we have it. You need to select this back on body. You could do it after you made your Auto Rig. Alright, now we have another controller, which I'm also going to turn into yellow. And the arm is just moving the right way. If your arm was moving the opposite way, so if I turn off reverse, you can see it can move the, let me get the controller layer. You can see that it's moving the wrong way. So if that's happening to you, all you have to do is to hit reverse. But for me, it was working well when I had reverse turned on, so I don't need to deselect that. Okay, so there's my controller. It's working great. I'm going to just move it in the original position, which was somewhere around here. You can go ahead and hide all of these layers except body. And I can actually hide this. So the arms are ready. Let's go ahead and fix the legs. The most important part, because it needs to jump. Unshide these layers. Look for the pink category. Unshide these. Turn this back on. So we're dealing with little layers at a time. Select all of these layers for left leg. Create a leg structure. Make sure all of these are turned on and you're on the human option and not dogs or horses. And now we can select the corresponding layers, solo them, select that, and just put them where they need to be. Bring that back, the calf layer, solo, bring this right in the middle of that circle. Bring it back, we had the foot layer, and that's the final layer. Bring the foot right at the ankle. And now we have this. For the heel and the tiptoe, you gotta just zoom in. So heel is all the way there. Toes are in like that. We have to do heel as the last part. So do toes first, then tiptoe, and then heel. So everything fits in. And now we're going to select and parent thigh to thigh, foot to foot, calf to calf. And also, we want to color code these to, I believe it's peach. Yeah, peach color. Select all the Duik layers, go to Duik, rigging, auto rig, and IK. Okay, and also make this peach. Now after we've done the auto rig and IK, we can parent S thigh to body. Or actually not to the body, the hip, which we need to get. There we go, to hip. And we can go ahead and hide all of these layers after we've parented them. Make sure you check to see if it's working all right. Okay, so the direction is good too. I don't need to turn off. Okay, reverse is turned off by its own. Just turn off auto stretch. Let's hide all of these layers. We can also hide body. We need to bring hip in the game. Let's hide C-foot as well. Go for the final layer. This guy, and also bring in the hip while we're here. Okay. Let's rename this, move the copy. And we're going to select all, and I'm just doing this for each of the layers. Remember to do your toes first, and then your tiptoes, and then your heel. There's an order. All right, so let's select all of these layers and just parent them. Calf to calf, foot to foot, thigh to thigh. And then select all of these layers and make a controller layer. All right, we now have 2 controller layers. Let's turn this, I guess seafoam was the color. And now connect thigh to hip. Okay, so we have all of these layers. Let's turn this off and now bring in the layers that we want to work with. So that's C-foot, which is our right foot. Let me just, instead of 2, put R. So we want this layer, we don't want the heel, the tiptoe and all that. Turn those off. We need the C-foot, so this is actually the left leg, so foot L. We need this one. Don't need the heel and all that. And we have a controller for the hand. You see which hand that is. That's the right hand. Right click. Hand R. Turn this back on. Turn off all the layers. We have another one for hand L. Bring that back on, and we need the body, the hip. We don't need the thigh or the other Illustrator layers. We do need the head, the ball, the hoop. Okay. So now we have a few layers that we can work with. We have to move the right hand underneath. So let's go back here, get the right hand layers. Turn this back off. Right hand layers were the yellow layers, so bring those below body. Below everything, actually. Below everything except the background. They need to be on the other side completely. And we just brought in the structure layers. We forgot the actual vector layers. Bring those below the structure layers. There we are. That makes more sense. The legs are okay. The hand is fine too. All right, we can just turn this back on. And now we only have some controller layers for the characters to work with. We can bring the controller layers up, all of them. So we have hand right, hand left, foot L, foot R, and the body, the hip, the head. We want to connect the head to the body. So let's first get the anchor point and bring it right below. Then connect head to body, body to hip, and the ball. We can just leave the ball for now. We're mainly going to focus on the character right now. Okay, so we have adjusted everything. What I did want to do was to change the icon color. Right now they're all red. So on foot R, let's make it another color. Let's make it green. And for the other foot, actually we didn't make it green. Come in icon. Make it green here. Okay. The other foot, it's red. We don't want it to look the same. Go for pink. This way you won't get confused when you're dealing with the controllers. Okay, now all of the foot layers, you want to check them and make sure they're working right. And you can see that the right foot is behind everything. That's good. The left foot, let's check to make sure it's working. All right. Hand L, let's have a look. All right, it's bending all right. The right hand is also okay. So now we also want to check these guys. Let's hit P real quick and have a look. Hit none, put hip to body. Okay, so hip goes on body. That's the other way, and now our character can sit and stand. He's standing, he's sitting, he's squatting. It all works okay. Always check your controllers. If you saw that maybe the forearm is dislocated or it's not connected, you need to go back to your layers and make sure that they're parented to one another. Your vector layers need to be parented to the structure layers or the bone layers that you can see here that we connected. You want to make sure that the thigh layers or the top layer, which here would be the arm, here would be the thighs, those layers are connected to the tip of the structures too. You just want to make sure everything is connected. If not, go back to your layers and check one more time. Now that we have prepped our character, we can go ahead and start animating. I'll see you guys in the next lesson.